Need to convince candidates to use recruiters? Check out this video right now to find out how. Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. And if you haven't yet seen this channel before, it is all about making you the next Millionaire Recruiter. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm actually super inspired by this particular subject, which is how do you get candidates to use you as a recruiter and to show value there? Because this morning, I was doing a really great training on LinkedIn and getting doing some different searches, and we're all giving feedback, collaborating. It was super fun. And then I found out that a few of the recruiters are getting some candidates to say, sorry, we don't work with outside recruiters. We only work with internal recruiters and directly with the particular companies. And I was mind blown because I've done this for over 12 years, and the amount of candidates I've had tell me they weren't going to use me because I was an external is, less than 5. So I'm going to address this issue because I didn't know it was an issue. So shame on me. All right. Why do candidates use recruiters? External recruiters, excuse me. There are so many reasons. So I'm just going to blow through them, and then I'll quickly go over why and how you can get that candidate to see through that. I'm imagining that over a course of a candidate's years experience, especially if you're dealing more with senior people, which I think most external recruiters do deal with, they've had a lot of bad experience with recruiters. I don't think it's any surprise that in this industry, in the recruiting industry in general, there's a lot of bad seeds. That is why you're on this channel, because you want to be the next millionaire recruiter, and you can't do that unless you actually do good work. And this starts here and building that value. So you need to make sure that this candidate understands you are not all of those bad seeds. You are a beautiful seed and you are going to do an amazing job and do it ethically, because I think that's like the main issue here. So when you have a candidate say, hey, sorry, I like Google. It seems like you're representing Google. Google sounds really interesting to me, but I'm not interested in working with you. I'm going to go directly to the company. I just don't work with external recruiters. Here's a few things you can say. 1, I totally get that. I understand you've probably had a lot of bad experiences. I would love to show you a good experience. That might work, but you're gonna need something else. They're gonna be like, yeah, sure, they all say that. You're also gonna say, look, I'm sure that you're used to doing that. However, especially if you're doing tech, and I would imagine if you're recruiters in other industries, you're in some pretty hot industries, you're really needed. So I would say, look, you're in tech, and right now it's really fast moving. There's a ton of in-house recruiters. They're also using external recruiters because they can't keep up with the volume and the demand that's currently moving forward in 2020. You can put it just like that. Number 3, if you go directly to the company and you send it to resumes@google.com, I don't think that exists, but you know what I mean, then your resume is also amongst thousands of other resumes that literally Google does not have the manpower to go through. Let me actually give you a really good example. I was in a diversity and inclusion training, and I was in there with Coca-Cola, for example, and their HR was there, and she said for every single job opening they have listed on their site, they get on an average 12,000 applicants. So then I asked, how many people are going through those 12,000 applicants? She said only 4. So, do you think that that person's resume is getting the attention that it deserves? Absolutely not. That right there is, in my opinion, the number 1 reason that candidates should use recruiters, and why you build value is because you are the middleman to the person that decides. So you are not, for example, the candidate's resume, if they do it themselves, here's thousands of other people, hundreds of people, who knows, right, that they are going through, or they can use you, and you are the direct source to the company. That's a no-brainer, right? Even if you're sending their resume to the company, and let's say the company does not get back on the normal schedule and it kind of gets lost, guess what you get to do? you get to follow up because you have the relationship with the company and you have the direct contact in order to say, hey Google, you forgot about Cindy's resume. It's right here. Whereas Cindy's resume on this other giant pile and stack is not getting looked at. That alone is so powerful and something you need to get across to candidates when they tell you, I don't work with external recruiters. Guess what? You need to, because you get a front of the line pass, or at least back cuts, right? So that is amazing. Another reason why all candidates should use recruiters is because we are their sounding board. We know everything about the client's interview process. We've placed people there before. We know about their salary negotiations. We know about all of their options. So all of the questions that a candidate is scared to ask the company at first, they can ask us anything they want. And it's almost like a client privilege thing. Obviously not that extreme, but you know what I mean? They can ask those questions without any judgment whatsoever because you are their sports agent. You are the one that helps them through the entire process. So even when a candidate says, oh, I don't need your help with salary negotiations, that's great. But wouldn't you think you're gonna need someone to set up exactly, what they do need to know? Or don't they want like a little bit of a cheat sheet? I don't know, maybe some people don't. Maybe their experience that they've had with the past recruiter is so extreme that they don't dare, think that someone could be great. And that's fine because there's always gonna be those types of people. But if you are getting this multiple times, then you need to get really good at this rebuttal. So I just don't think that this should be a thing. Also, if it's coming up over and over again, you should really take a look at your LinkedIn and what kind of vibe it's bringing out, because maybe it's very standoffish, maybe it's not personalized enough, maybe the personality isn't standing out, something, because I gotta tell you, even though I am sadly not recruiting day to day anymore, I'm more of mentoring and hiring and growing and stuff like that. I've done it for so long, so it can't be that different. Not in the last couple months. You guys should not be getting these rebuttals that often. And again, if you are, then you need to start looking into why they would be doing this. So if you have any questions on that, if you've got something really funky you want to go over, just shoot me a comment below. I would love to tackle something like that, not to mention be inspired by another video. I had another video planned today, but I gotta tell you, the training today, I was kind of mind blown by that. So I hope you guys are not hearing that often. Candidates should work with recruiters. We are extremely valuable on so many different reasons. And again, one more thing, why would clients work with us if we're not valuable? Candidates, you should know that. Okay, all right, well, hopefully you guys are having a great week, and remember to like, subscribe, and watch every single Thursday at noon. And do not forget that money is just a vessel to get you to do all the amazing things you want to do. So go do it. See you next week.